Hey guys, what is up? We're back with another week of Sentenced to Be a Hero. Sorry that I didn't upload yesterday. I was out, so there was no videos yesterday. But also yesterday as well, as I stated before, the day before, which was I think Wednesday. If you are looking for a new episode, new video for Jujutsu Kaisen, you're gonna have to wait till next week, Thursday, due to Winter Olympics. So there were a couple of shows, I believe Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 and Free Run Season 2, both were on break this week due to Winter Olympics broadcasting on Japanese television. So the time slot for those two shows wasn't airing. So they probably did like rebroadcasting of the episode that happened last week and the previous episodes. But with Sentenced to Be a Hero from last week, episode 6 basically was the most terrifying episode for the season. And mind you, we're halfway through. I'm thinking Xylo was it. That was it. I mean, he can be brought back, given the fact that he, along with several others, are heroes, so they don't really have full autonomy over their own bodies. So if they do die in the midst of battle, they can always be, their soul can be brought back, but not in that particular body. It can be brought back into another body, and they lose their sense of self every time they're basically reincarnated. But luckily he survived. He survived, and it does look like now the relationship between him and Teoritta might become stronger due to, unfortunately, a life and death situation. He might actually start respecting her as she is and doesn't let his fear of what happened previously to him with a previous goddess determine how he actually does want to care for her. He's not going to let that fear cloud his judgment. So we'll see how it goes further, because we only got like, what, 5 more episodes left, I believe. 5 or 6 more episodes, and that's it. Crossing fingers for season 2, if there's enough material from the novel, okay? So without further ado, let's get into Sentenced to Be a Hero, episode 7. He finally passed her head. Finally. Let this man rest. What country is this? So hold on. Oh, so she's the 13. Oh, he was the X one. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Oh, so they want to take her out. Oh. Oh, come on. So now, so now you got people who worship these demon lords, and now you got another group of people that hates the goddess, bruh. Who is you? Why are you say okay? Dota, Dota was running away. Dota lied, and he did not take down no goddess. Dota didn't do. Dota was running away. Uh, oh, still doesn't matter. What did he do? Oh yeah, facts. Former fiance. Lady, girl, you are a former fiance. What do you mean? So y'all still? I guess she don't care. Oh, it didn't look. Can she do that? Another demon. Yo, how much demon blights in this universe do they got? 59. Demon Lord number 50. Okay. Yeah, why were you there listening to them in the first place? Mm. Yeah. Yeah, he just reckless as hell. Look at all the dragons. Mhm. Who is Neely? Oh, I mean, she the dragon. My bad. Mm. Oh, so you're really nice to dragons, but screw humans. I understand. I saw that. So you mean these two might be getting together? So the fact that the demon lord is portraying itself as a human, that's actually terrifying. Yeah. Who is you? Oh, not them all coming out the woodworks. Yeah. They took him out. Mm-hmm. Who was that? Ooh! Oh! She didn't even touch him. Don't tell her to step back. Oh! 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 Who the heck? Oh! Oh my god! Bro, you did kill him. Who is you? They had to be human experiments, bro. Mm. Mm. They being really human. Who is you? Oh, the dragon. Yeah, burn, burn, burn. Cut. That's what y'all get. Hey, yo, he's still alive? What the? Oh no, no, that's the demon lord. That has to be. That had to be Spriggan. Yep, yep, it had to, had to. What the frick? Okay, so oh my gosh, this dang, this definitely needs a season two, bro. I pray to everything it gets a season two because now, okay, overall, so this is I will say technically the world building is complete. I don't need overextending and all of that stuff. So we're in a world where there are dragons, there is demon lords, demon blights, and goddesses, right? Dragons are always cool. Just so you know, I'm as happy with dragons. Okay? dragons that can fly. Right? And there are humans that can control the dragons or form a very close bond, as we clearly saw with Jace. Jace has a very close bond with dragons. He prefers them over humans and he cares for them. And they say, you know what? Since you're giving them substances and caring for them more, and you're from a royal or very legit family, now you got to be a hero. Dumb stuff. So that means they're accusing people of certain stuff which doesn't warrant them to be heroes, but nonetheless, I guess they're there to prove a point. On top of that, we have two subcategories or technically three categories for humans. So obviously you have your regular humans, or technically four. Then you have those who work with the temple or the government, military, right? Then you have those who are exiled temple people who are heretics, and depending on the goddess, and they don't believe that goddess should exist, they eliminate that goddess. Then you have those who want to eliminate all of humanity, including the goddesses. Doesn't matter, because they're siding with the demon lord and the demon blight, aka they are coexisters. My problem now is, it would have been easier if we were just dealing with the demon blights and the demon lords and all that stuff. Now you got humans that either one are heretics who want to take out the goddess, Teoritta. So that means probably in the past, there have been these type of individuals who don't think the goddess that are currently there at the time is fit. So they want to take them out for reasons it's not too clear on, but we can see probably it's to also possibly aid the coexisters. Coexisters now wants the extinction of humanity, but mind you, that's a double-edged sword, and they're playing themselves dumb, because at the end of the day, they too are humans, and at the end of the day, the demon lord and the demon blight doesn't care for humans. In fact, it's probably going to use them till they can't use them no more, and then do away with them. But obviously these humans have in their head that like they're doing something for the betterment of the world, but at their own sacrifice. So they're discarding their own humanity for a brand new world that doesn't have them in it. Of course, at the end of the day, when that does happen, some may open up their eyes and they realize, hold on, oh, I made a grave mistake, but by then it might be too late. Whatever. Now this may actually get pretty scary, because this may not be even the first or the last we see of this type of demon lord, Spriggan. Spriggan may not be just the only one. This may be a new evolution of the demon lords, where they can actually camouflage themselves to look like a regular civilian. They may look odd, but if Spriggan is the first that we know descripted in the series, and obviously he looks weird and everything, who's to say that future demon lords aren't going to perfect in their camouflaging to the point that, one, yes, they can communicate with you, but the way they think, the way they act, who says they can't become more charismatic, more charming, more sophisticated? That's actually very scary when you think about it. And this is the first, and I would not be surprised if in somewhere in the novel, again, I don't read it, but if you guys read it, you probably know, don't spoil, but who's to say that like technically Spriggan is not the first prototype to try to make themselves look like a human to infiltrate and then harm humanity? There might be another demon that's actually very, and then you have people like who they called I forgot the name of that lady, who are humans that were experienced. So I'm guessing adventurers is another subcategory of humans, but who's to say some adventurers, and I do want them to delve a little bit more what they mean by adventurer, because that can mean anything. Someone that goes around the world seeking treasures, pulling like a Laura Croft type thing, type of stuff. But it does look like there are humans that are willing to go through experimentation for their own benefits, right? So this is really making the world of Sentenced to Be a Hero a lot more flourished. Of course, a lot of people might think, oh, world building, it has to be, you have to show the entire world. No, world building can literally be you on your block. That's where, as long as you can give information about what's happening in that particular scenery, that's world building. It doesn't have to be no big exploration like One Piece. World building can literally just be you in your neighborhood, the character in their neighborhood. What is surrounding in that neighborhood? How does that neighborhood affect the character, or how does that character affect around the neighborhood in that scenery? But there's nothing wrong with having like multiple countries, different cities, and all that stuff. It's the people that flourish, that fulfills the world building of that story. So having all of these elements is like, oh, Xylo, you have a lot cut out. And then on top of that, his fiance, Frenzy, obviously is showing depicted that she is from another nation or another country. And she has their way of doing things is a little bit more straightforward. There's not a lot of they're very straightforward, no nonsense type of people. So when they do talk, they're not beating around the bush. So it may come off a little crass towards other people. So originally she was, and it's not even that their relationship was they omitted their relationship. No, their marriage or their engagement is still intact, despite Xylo being a criminal. He's labeled legally as a criminal. And she's saying she could pardon him. So I'm wondering if in this world, another country, and it seems like she is of royalty of some sort, like a very high standing. Probably not royalty per se, but she is of very high standing. So it makes me wonder, depending on the standing of one's country and, who is a little bit more powerful and anything, and where their ranking is within their country, if they're capable, unless he moves to her country, and that way he can be pardoned. That would be very interesting. That would be interesting. And she does seem to, despite, the legality and all that stuff, and it may be like two families saying, yeah, you got to get together. But the fact that she's willing to go out of her way saying, I will find a way to pardon you, and that she's there because of the individuals that want to take out the goddess, Teoritta, is very, and because she was in the opening. I'm guessing from the opening, it looks like she's a priestess, so very high ranking within the temple and all that stuff. So, we'll see. It would be amazing to see if she's able to, like, bring all of Xylo's charges to a zero and, rid most of them for him, and find a way to prove that he is actually not really guilty of the crimes that he was falsely accused of. Mind you, he had no choice but to do the actions that he did prior to the storyline, simply because if he didn't, everybody in his platoon would have died. Another thing, I do see it happening. Kivia, even though I didn't like her, I do see her relationship with Xylo deepening as episodes go by. And this episode, when we thought he was complimenting her because she might look pretty, and she's dressed differently, she's out of uniform, she's dressing casually, and she's thinking, my romance bells are tingling. I'm just saying, it might be a minor little subgenre that's in there between it. It's not going to be a major focus, but I would not be surprised if Xylo and Kivia get together, but it might be a problem between him and friends. It would be a problem. It would be a problem. Unless, Why did they have to put that subplot there? Why did they have to put a subplot there? Now, like, and again, I do hope that the anime does well enough that it can warrant a manga that is adapting from the novel. Probably there is, and I don't know about it. But if there isn't, I do hope after the anime does end, and you know, it does decently well, that eventually we get a manga adaptation. More so following the novel. Of course, there are going to be some cutouts and everything. So it's not going to probably be as overly detailed as the novel, but it will give us a little bit more visual information. And obviously taking hints from obviously the anime as well. So I do hope that does happen in the near future. But if Kiva does end up having feelings, then Xylo has feelings for Kiva, there could be two alternatives. It's either he does, they again pardon him and he's no longer a criminal, he's no longer Demon Hero, he ends up marrying his fiance, who she's not even his ex-fiance, mind you, they're still legally engaged with each other. Or he breaks off his engagement and he gets it together at the end with Kiva. I'm just saying, she was giving him the roughest time, but like, these two, their relationship is getting stronger by the minute as each episode goes by. And Teoritta, despite being a goddess, she seems like that's their daughter right there. We don't even know how old technically she actually is. She may have the presence of a child, but we technically don't know the actual age of Teoritta or of any of these goddesses. They might actually be pretty old, but they just look very young. But yeah. Regardless of it, I am actually very interested how this can go down with these demon lords, because again, I firmly believe with Spriggan, he's like the prototype, and it would not be surprising if we do see more demon lords or demon blights start camouflaging themselves to look like humans. And each one that does, because now we're at number 59, each one that does perfects it just a little bit better than the previous demon lord. Because if they saw it work before, but there needs to be some tinkering around, the next one might do it better. And it may just get worse from here. Okay? But nonetheless, if you guys already saw this week's episode of Sentenced to Be a Hero, episode 7, do drop in the comments down below on how you felt about this week's episode. If you read the novel, do tell me how you felt about this episode versus the chapter or chapters it was adapted from, Nothing Further. And I do want to give a big shout out to Patreon supporters. Thank you. Your support and your help is always greatly appreciated. Full video will also be on my Patreon as well, so you can check it out on there with the audio and everything. And I'm Kimmy-chan, and the links are in the description box below. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!